Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews. Got a beer here from the Pitz Brewing Company from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. I have the Capt'n Bill's barrel-aged barley wine coming in at 12% alcohol by volume, I believe. Let's see, 12.5 alcohol by volume. Definitely in that nice session range. American style barley wine, so it's going to be a hopped up barley wine, which is atypical, especially from the area. I mean, Victory and stuff are known for they're hopped up old horizontal and stuff like that. But I will tell you, the barrel aged, the oak horizontal, is very, very nice, and actually does give you a nice like rich malt dynamic, which I like in the barley wine. That's a lot of the American barley wines seem to lack. It's just more just like American hopped up strong ales or triple IPAs, those kind of idea. You know, the old school ones we're talking about, not this new school phase. But let's see how this one, I've never had the original, but let's see how this barrel-aged version was. I picked this up actually in Wyoming County, which is about as damn far away from, far away north as you can get from Chambersburg, which is really crazy. So I picked this one up. There's no bottle on date and stuff like that for this one, but when the reviews, which I didn't read the reviews, I just went on Untappd just to see if there was a date on there. They started getting posted in 2017. There was a rum variant as well. So this might be a 2017 bottle right here, which will be really interesting to see because those malts should be as prime as they'll ever be. Probably a little drier now, but that's okay. So let's get it in. And I actually have the hashtag, I know you probably can't see it because of the glare too, but proper glassware. Hashtag proper glassware, Joe, so that's good. And it'll be dirty class mafia for sure. So let's get it cracked open, a little hiss, a little cannon smoke still. That's good. Get it in the glass. Not my atypical barley wine glass, but I wanted to use proper glassware since I knew I had it. So throw this little boy up here. Let me see if you can actually see the. I haven't been throwing the logo up in here too much. So Roy Pitz, and I had a Roy Pitz tour. They actually have a tap house and stuff now down there in Chambersburg. But when I went there, they didn't. It was just right in the brewery. So it's one of the first like brewery tour videos I ever did on the channel a long time ago. Long time ago. So now you can probably see the logo a lot better. The Roy Pitz Brewing Company. This is an old glass. They might have changed their logo a little bit since then. This has a more of a different style. The logo has a little bit of a different style than this, but I like this, especially because you got the PA symbol in there too. They have some pretty good beer. I like the fact that they have some English styles. That was really nice. Fat Daddy Sacks and stuff like that. They got jail ale and things like that. But enough flappy wappy about smell. Well, up to the light. There's a little bit of a murkiness to this beer. Slight caramel orange. A lot of burnt caramel, burnt sugars, burnt caramels. Little peppery, caramel peppery bourbon. But tons of, a little bit of a stewed orange, stewed fruit kind of flavor, a little bit of raisin in there too. A little bit of musty kind of celery, kind of, not celery, cellar kind of mustiness, dankness. Yeah. Smells very broody, if you know what I mean, like really burnt sugars, burnt caramels. Has that little bit of a stewed fruit orange, a little bit of raisin in there, kind of very low key, very muddy, earthy, kind of a smell to it. But it has a nice little caramel peppery bourbon wafting through there as well. Let's see if this is a 12.5 sipper or a 12.5 chugger. We'll find out. And like I said, I don't have a bottle on date, but for the reviews that were started to get posted with the same artwork and everything, and I never saw different variant years. So this is probably 2017, and I'm happy to find it up in the mountains of Wyoming County. So cheers, PA Brew News. I love my PA brews, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully this is really good. Cheers. drying on the palate. Muted baker's chocolate, muted burnt caramels, muted brown bread, muted. It's got this kind of haze to it. You can see it's hazy. There's this kind of soft, like fog of a slight breadiness that's kind of wrapping around everything. You get burnt sugars shooting out of that fog. Burnt sugars, little muted brown bread, earthiness. There's a lot of earthiness, little stale copper kind of cardboard, very slightly stale hops, if you know what I mean. Those stale kind of almost musty cardboard, and that's where that flavor was coming from. Those stale hops, because this is an American barley wine, and being aged, you're gonna get those. A lot of those hops, they do get a little stale after a while. Then you get a little bit of that soft minerality, soft earthy tones wafting in the background like a little copper coin, as to be expected. And caramel peppery bourbon is there. It's just it's muted. Everything's muted by this kind of soft haze. There's a nice bright sharp point right in the middle where it kind of bubbles, all that poof, and then whoa, then you get all those characters I'm talking about. But normally they're just muted underneath that blanket of haze I said. That breadiness. Breathing nice, drinking nice, very approachable for 12.5. Muted orange, muted raisin. I'm kind of interested to see what hops they put in the American Barleywine to begin with. It definitely has a soft, kind of aged, muted citrus tonality to it, and kind of like a cooked, like stewed fruit orange, kind of like a over ripened, mushed up orange kind of a vibe in the background. Ooh, shit! I found 2 pieces of glass that used to be a St. Fouillon glass, but I got another one. By the time you'll see this, I have the review up where I bought another glass in a pack. We drove around all over the mountains of northeastern PA yesterday, of 250 miles of driving, and we definitely brought back beer. I have one here, a growler, a little half quart growler from Endless Brewing to try, of a porter, a chocolate vanilla porter. So that, and Joe just recently reviewed someone from this guy's, but this is Thomas Hooker Brewery, double chocolate truffle stout. So I got that one to come up. Just letting this breathe, letting me kind of 11.8, very sessionable. And I finally found Godmother Imperial Stout. I've heard Lord Hobo makes a pretty good Imperial Stout, so I found a Godmother Imperial Stout coming in another very sessionable 12%. And that's my wheelhouse. That's where I like to stay. So last night we were drinking. We had the darkness, the Surly Darkness, and we enjoyed that one. Sipped on that one for a while. Then we cracked open a couple beers that we've had in the reserve over here. Enjoyed those. It's the most beer I ever drank this year. Not ever, but this year, even sharing it. It was a very enjoyable time for me to drink at the time, and then I did wake up with a hell of a fucking headache. I haven't really drank that much, and they're all like, everything we drank was plus 10. I mean, at least 12. So we both drank late, slept in. Basically all day Sunday we just slept and nursed our hangovers and just kind of like laid around, and that was fine. But kids are here, steaks are already made, everything's happy. Just the kids and us tonight, and cats are fed, steaks cooked. I didn't eat anything yet. I just nibbled on some of the bits that I cut off, the fats and stuff, but just because I could. So did that. Now I'm just gonna enjoy a good beer. It is a good beer. It's a different beer. It's a very unique beer because, not unique, I would say it's a niche beer because you can tell it's aged. You can tell it's kind of musty and dirty and a little bit like that. So not everybody's going to appreciate it, but American barley wine now is an old style. I mean, it's, of course they had Bigfoot and the Fog, the Anchor Brewing Company had Foghorn or something like that back in the day. So it's an old style for the craft beer and thing. And I've had some pretty good ones from PA. This is a good one. This is the barrel aged version. I've never had the regular, so they don't age well. As far as now, the barrel aged I noticed has a little bit of a different kind of to it, but just for me, American barley wines, you want to drink them fresh because you want to get that hop charge, and it's like a American Strong Ale or a triple IPA back in the day. But like 120 minute, you know what I mean? I've had it on cask or on tap, you know, and it's just like hopped and brandy. It's crazy. But I've never enjoyed an old 120. It's just cardboardy and just stale and you know what I mean? And just like, I'm not really sure why you're doing this. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Barrel aged 120 would be interesting. A nice in a wine barrel aged 120 would be very interesting. There is a rum variant of this that I'm sure was very interesting. I like this. If you're ever in the Gettysburg area, Chambersburg is only 20 minutes away or something like that to the west. On 30, definitely check it out. Roy Pitz is available in Gettysburg in several establishments. They have a watermelon lager in the summer, stuff like that. They have a couple different beers, like I said. Now, I haven't had them in a while, so I'm sure there's a plethora of different stuff from Roy Pitz, but I like what I've had from them. So, and I like this too. Look at the lacing. Thick lacing. And here's my ceramic Alf. Just in case you wanted to know. There he is. Anyway, it's going long. We're going to put the rest in. And it looks like this has been kind of bottle treated, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of sedimentation in this, which you don't really see, actually. So it's just, and this thing is just getting hazier and hazier and hazier. That fog that I told you about. Wow. Yeah, there's nothing in here now because it's all in the goddamn beer. But it's interesting. It has a sharpness around the edge where a little bit of that muted citrus kind of quality is lying. It's got a little bit of it's got that bourbon. I was going to say it's like a liquor-esque, but that bourbon is sitting there too. That kind of like you just had a shot of like a drink of like an old-fashioned, those kind of things, or a Manhattan kind of style. You get sharp citrus tones. You get the bourbon tones laying on. You get a little bit of the copper-corn and minerality wafting through the palate now. You have a soft orange quality. It's very different. It's a nice little barley wine. Definitely a sipper, even though I'm not sipping on it. I'm crushing the fucking thing down. But it's a nice. I would like to have a case of this, so once in a while I could just crack one open with a, and be poncy with candles and H.P. Lovecraft and smoke a pipe and just drink it and just forget the world on a nice rainy cold day, that kind of thing. This is a good beer. I don't know how much I paid for it. Sorry. I don't think it probably was more than $14 a bottle, which is extremely reasonably priced for this 22-ounce bottle of this 12.5 aged barley wine. I got it from the same place up in Wyoming County Beverage where I bought the Surly Darkness, and they had more of those up there. I think they have more of these up there. So if I really, really want to, if I get a bug up my butt, I can definitely drive there and get some more. So that's nice. Really cool. RoyPitz.com. It's a brewery that, it's one of those Pennsylvania breweries that never get talked about enough, or ever. You know what I mean? Those kind of things. So it's definitely worth checking out if you can get it. If you're the northern Maryland area, southern Pennsylvania, those kind of things. This was just a happy little find. A happy little find, and honestly, it's a happy little beer. I want to say it's got some viscosity to it. The body's okay because it's got all that haze. I would like more. See, the thing is, the haze is giving a great body, but the haze is also taking away some of that sharpness, some of those defined characteristics that you would like to pick apart in a beer. So it is hazing it up a little bit. So it is muddling up the waters. It's that stomp around in the puddle kind of deal. That is sad, but it's also making it very creamy, nice body. You know what I mean? So it's also, and I think it's cutting a lot of the harsh flavors that are in some those sharp ethanols and all those things. Like it's cutting that out. So it's making it very easily and approachable. So I think I'm going to throw this in the 8 category. I'm actually having a great time drinking it. It's really approachable for the 12.5. I like the flavors. There's no bad flavors in there because even with those soft, cardboardy, stale notes, I expected that. And it's going to happen with these American barley wines when they get older. So it's not something that's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. That's what happens. Drink enough old beer, you start knowing these things. So anyway, 8 out of 10 from me. This has been Paul for PABrewNews. Cheers. Bye-bye. Watch that video. Here it comes.